Well, I got back from the OBX show, Rod and Custom Festival in Nags Head on the Outer Banks yesterday. I put the car inside, and then today I started working on it, and I thought maybe I'd make a little video of a little bit of behind the scenes of what it takes. The people see the cars at the show every week, but they don't get to see what it takes to get them to the show or keep them running, to go to the shows every week. So as you can see here, I just got done jacking it up. What I do myself is I got a heat lamp because methanol for the fuel really milkies up the oil. And I did quite a bit of driving this weekend at the show. Actually, the most driving on the street that I've ever done on a weekend with it. So I'm curious to see how the oil looks. I think we figured out from the show to the trailer parking where I parked my trailer to get to the show was 6.5 miles. I went down there once each day and then a little bit of driving local. And to go that 13 miles, it took 10 gallons of methanol. So I think all weekend I ended up burning 25 gallons in 2 days. So also today what I wanted to do is pull the valve covers, check the valve lash. I'm going to pull the spark plugs, check the plugs. Of course, we'll check the water, the transmission, all the fluids. The car's dry underneath. It hasn't leaked a drop, so I'm not expecting it to be low on anything, but you never know. And then, of course, once I get everything, as far as the maintenance on the engine and everything done, I'll probably end up spending 2 days cleaning this thing. But let me see if I can film some of this, and we'll get to work. Oh, you wouldn't think that heat lamp would get it that hot, but then burn your hand. Probably had it on there for a little over 2 hours. Let's see if I can get a little closer. I don't know if you can see this. See how much water's in there? Hold it this way. You can see this sludge right here from the methanol. And condensation from the water. I'll have to clean these out. Let me get over, set up on the other side, and we'll take it apart. You can see the methanol in the water mixing. These two back cylinders are running a little bit wet still. I had that problem a long time ago. I never really got it fixed. They still run a little rich. I think I'm gonna try going down maybe two nozzle sizes on the back two injector nozzles, and maybe see if that'll make a difference. I don't know if you can see from the camera angle, but the inside is spotless. Valve train seems to be okay. I didn't have no trouble with it running. No. Don't see no parts laying in there. That one looked good. I need to do is grind down this socket a little bit. These Kazi heads, they're Kazi SR71 heads, and the bores for the where the spark, you know, for the, right here, you can see it binds up, then it gets loose, and then it binds up. But it's not the threads, it's the socket that's binding up. Either he made the holes a little too small on some of them, or because the one on the back on the other side and this one here I got trouble with. Plus my hands are oily from the valve covers. That one looks like burning real good. See, now that one you can break it loose. And the socket's got room. That one's running a little, looks good. The pipe's a little wet, but the plug looks pretty good. Looks good. Next thing I need to do is I'm going to go get my feeler gauge and we'll check the valve lash, make sure everything's good on that. I'll move the camera probably. I'm getting ready to check the valve lash. I know there's a bunch of different ways to do it. Everybody has their own opinion about how to do it. And I didn't make this to show you how to do it. I'm just showing you how I do mine. Of course, being a tea bucket, everything's very easy to get to. Obviously, I could sit here on my 10-gallon bucket and work on the motor. But what I do is right here, you can see my harmonic balancer is marked 360 degrees all the way around. So right now I got it set at 0. And what I do is I put a breaker bar. You can see here in the snout of the blower has a 1/2 inch drive. So a 1/2 inch extension will plug right into it. So I can use this to turn the motor over. And I start obviously on the compression stroke on number 1 cylinder here is this front one. And I'll adjust it. And then what I got is 4 marks, because it's hard to see without a light. So I put a little magic marker at the 270 degree mark, the 180 degree mark, and the 90 degree mark. So all I do is turn it 1/4 of a turn to, next one will be at 270, and then go to the next cylinder, then turn it to 180, go to the next cylinder. And I just go once around like that. I've had no trouble with it. Normally, I never even have to adjust them, very, very little. I just checked this one here. It's on the compression 1 now. The exhaust is perfect. Little snug, but the exhaust, I don't know. I didn't check how much loose. It's loose. I'll see how loose it is. I'll put the camera down. But if it's less than 2 thousandths, I just usually leave it. If it's out over 2 thousandths, then I'll go ahead and adjust it. So let me set the camera up while I'm doing it, and that way I'll have already explained how I do it. I gotta go over to the other side. I think I'm gonna leave the camera here and I'll film this side. I'll shut it off while I run over to the other side. Okay, we're good. No adjustment. All right, well, that's it for this side. I gotta go over to the other side and do number 7 and number 8. And we'll be done. I'll start putting it back together. Well, number 7 and number 8 on this side didn't need no adjusting, so I got lucky there. It was only a couple and they were maybe 2000s. Probably could have not adjusted any of them and been okay, but I like to keep them close. That way if something does start to go wrong, I'll know right away. If I start seeing 5-6 thousandths on one rocker, then I know there's something wrong somewhere. I wanted to show you quick the oil. How good you can see in there. It holds 2 gallons. That's 2 gallons of oil right there. Yeah. I want to show you. Actually, it's not that bad. You see, I don't know if you can see it in the camera swirling or not. Because none of the methanol is the oil's gonna float and the methanol will be on the bottom. So usually when I stir it, you see white streaks through it. But that's really not bad considering I drove probably 25-30 miles this weekend. That looks really good. I'll put it in another pot. I'll probably cook it a little bit. If there is any methanol in it, I'll see if I can make a video so you see how it bubbles. It's amazing how the big white bubbles come out from the methanol, and then the oil starts to get darker and darker the more you cook it. Well, I'm going to stop here for today. It's getting late. I'll see if I can finish the video tomorrow putting it back together. Well, last night I left that bucket of oil, the 2 gallons of oil, sitting here on the floor overnight. I wanted to see if you could see the difference between when it came out of the motor yesterday and now that all the methanol had settled out of it. Today I'm working on cleaning up the valve covers, and I'm going to go ahead and put the plugs, wires, everything, put everything back together and check the water still. I still need to check the transmission, and then probably start on cleaning it. And let me get back to work. Every time I put the plugs back in, being aluminum head and the steel plugs, I never seize the threads each time. That way I don't have no problems getting them out. Just a little bit. Well, let me head over to the other side and get the valve covers. We'll get the plugs back in it. I'm gonna try to keep the video short, so I'm not gonna film the other side. It's the same thing as this side. Let me get back to work. Well, as you can see here, I got it back down on the ground. We got it filled up with oil. I checked the transmission fluid was good. I checked the water was good. Checked the brake fluid was good. So looks like we're good to go. I spent most of the day today, to be honest, just cleaning the car, getting ready to load it up in the trailer. There's a show tomorrow. I'm thinking about going to it, but they're calling for like 35% chance of rain. So I'm not sure if I'm going to try it or not. So I think what I'm going to do is just go ahead and get it loaded tonight. And we'll see what the weather's like in the morning. Well, like I said earlier, I just wanted to give you an idea, some of the people watching my channel, some of the maintenance that goes on to keeping this thing running. I appreciate everybody watching. Don't forget, like, subscribe, and we'll see you at the next cruising.